Good morning. It is Coronavirus Video Journal week 43. It is the morning of December 22nd, 2021, and it is my last video before Christmas Day, hence my Santa Christmas hat, kinda, because red and black, so go UGA, go dogs. Unfortunately, I'm wearing yellow because it is my last shift. Otherwise, it should have color coordinated, whatever. Nonetheless, down to the business at hand, COVID is back. COVID is making a comeback, and it is ugly. In the last 2 weeks, the new Omicron variant has gone from 0.3% of all American COVID infections to 73% of all COVID infections in this country. It is so contagious, it's ridiculous. Way more contagious than Delta, than the common cold, than the flu. Than measles, which we always think of as like ridiculously contagious. It's bad. There's good news and bad news with this. So because it is a milder infection than Delta was, it's out competing Delta. So what's happening is people are getting infected by Omicron and they don't die as often or get like hospital sick as often, but they are also getting a boosted immune system against coronavirus. And so Delta can't infect these people. And so Delta's being squeezed out of the picture by a more contagious but less dangerous infection, which is awesome. It is exactly what is needed to combat this virus. But the problem now is that it's infecting so many people that the main problem still exists, that the hospital is getting overrun again. And so, yes, so fewer people per infection are getting super sick. But because there's so many more infections, the number of hospital sick patients is still going up. It's really weird to think about. It makes absolute sense if you can like divvy it up in your head, but it's still complicated. So that's our problem now, is that the unvaccinated are coming in like crazy. I now have had my first fully vaccinated COVID admission to the hospital, and it was a woman who had gotten both her first and second doses of the mRNA vaccine, but had not gotten her booster. And she had gotten her vaccines 6 months ago, which means that it was right at the time she needed to get her booster, and she hadn't yet, which is not really her fault because it was right on the line, but her immune system had waned enough to lead to an active COVID infection. So we had to hospitalize her. But she's doing very well. So she's not one of these that I have to whisper in their ear that they're going to die in a few days, which has happened this week. I've had a 38-year-old woman who had a severe infection and a 41-year-old man who had a severe infection. And they both showed up around day 10 of their symptoms. And within 2 days, they kind of fell off the cliff when it came to their symptoms and got dramatically worse. They're still here, still alive, but not doing so hot. So that's where we stand. I'm getting a good handful of COVID patients again. It's expected it's going to get a lot worse in the next month. So please be careful. That's the only update I have for you right now. Keep wearing your masks in indoor spaces. Winter is the worst time for these kinds of infections because people tend to be indoors. So please wear your masks if you're indoors and in enclosed spaces. Try to just wear your mask as often as possible when you're not around your immediate household and family. You save yourself and save others, as I've told you guys every week. Please get your boosters, pretty please. The boosters are working, and there's a reason that no one ever created a vaccine against a coronavirus like the common cold before COVID. And it's because it mutates so much that you lose immunity very quickly. And so you have to be getting vaccines like every 6 months to fight off the common cold, which is why it wasn't deemed worth it to make. It's not feasible. But because COVID is so deadly, that's what we got to do. So, even if you got your first 2 shots or your Johnson & Johnson shot, it's not enough anymore. So you need to get your booster as soon as possible, 6 months after the last shot you got. And if you can do that, you're going to be golden. So please do it. Convince your family to do it. Take your kids, get it done. And hopefully, the winter won't be too bad, even though the Midwest and Northeast is getting hammered already. So hopefully we can turn the tide this winter. But that's it for me. I'll see you guys after the new year. Have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. Hopefully you had a cool Hanukkah. And any other holidays like Festivus, etc., that might be in the books for you. So we'll talk again next year. Later, guys.